Well, I started just listening to a lot of music since I was young, and I'm lucky that my parents have such great taste. There's a lot of American songbook and Broadway music. I've been going to see Broadway shows in New York ever since I was 2 years old, and been going to jazz clubs since I was 6 years old and falling asleep in the clubs. But they were also, my parents were playing a mix of Broadway, jazz, pop music, and I fell in love with the saxophone after hearing Stan Getz. And I had started classical piano at 6 years old, and then I started clarinet in 4th grade, and for both things it was very hard for me to practice, and I would end up just making up my own songs on piano. So my parents knew, okay, she's kind of an out-of-the-box kind of kid. And it was saxophone at 10 that it just immediately clicked. And I've also always been singing, so I learned a lot of things by ear, created my first CD at 12 years old, made a CD every year, and now I'm 19 and just released my 8th CD as a band leader. I've been traveling the world and touring around, and it's just an organic thing that happened. I never expected to be in the music business. It's just a hobby of mine, but it's really turned into my passion. That I bought. I think it was kind of blue. I was taking a jazz history class at New England Conservatory Prep School, and I remember my teacher saying, if you guys don't have this record, you need to go out and get it now. So that's what I did, and that was the first time that I was really hearing all of those cats together, Coltrane, Cannonball, and Miles, and you know, that is a magical record, and obviously a very historical one. So that's the first one I bought. Yeah. I've been very lucky to have some wonderful mentors like Lee Conant, and I did a record with Lee. Phil Woods is also on this new CD. Wynton Marsalis was a guest with him, his big band. People like, I've got to play with Dave Brubeck and Harry Connick Jr., Ann Hampton Calloway. There's been a lot of people I'm very blessed to have in my life, and who have really, for some reason, taken me under their wing and had me play with them, sit in with them, gave me exposure, or kept in touch, and championed me in some way. Well, I consider Lee and Phil teachers of mine, and then also Jerry Bergonzi, George Garzone, Jeremy Udine. James Miranda was my first saxophone teacher. Yeah, and that's just for saxophone, not composition or voice. But there's been quite a few. I've studied with Greg Osby, Frank Tiberi, lots of people. Man, music education is one of the most important aspects of a young musician, and in my career and coming up and learning music, just because that's the knowledge that we're getting from our teachers, from our peers, and it's really like the woodshed to practice craft, to practice art. And by cutting those programs, it's really sad because so many students are discovering themselves through instruments and learning how to express themselves. And I really think it's an important part of developing the brain, of balancing out life and tapping into the inner creativeness. Can you say that? Inner creativeness. Hi, this is Grace Kelly. Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to check out more, go to JazzTimes.com.